Who? Me?
It's a bit
Or-
cold to clean.
me. No. It's
Yes,
probably
you. Yes.
Yeah. me. Yes. Every Sunday morning.
Absolutely. Regularly.
Yeah. Yes.
Isn't it a bit cold to clean the cars at the moment?
No.
No, it was lovely this morning. Nice and sunny.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I didn't know Jewish people clean their own cars. I thought
Yeah.
that was
Always clean my car.
Didn't
You can be
know.
sure if we clean ours, it'll rain the next day.
Yeah,
Oh,
always. Murphy's Law.
it's like watering your lawn. You know what's going to happen as soon as you do.
Well, exactly.
If anybody wants their car clean, Lawrence is happy to do it on a Sunday morning.
Absolutely. No,
okay, I remember that. Fine.
it's fine. If I'm out there doing it and you draw up, it will be cleaned. I'm quite happy to do it.
Help me
Now,
in.
Lawrence, would you mind doing our children also while you're at it? Just kind of, we'll bring them over.
Whatever. If they don't mind being hosed down, it's no
Yeah,
big
but they don't mind. They're not fussed.
It's no different than any typical shower for them.
Yeah, I think it's the Polishman in me, you know. From have to be cleaning a car.
Oy vey. Oy vey.
Hi, Sarah.
So how's everyone?
Hi.
As this week is ending, tonight is a beginning of a national holiday. The shops are shut. The spirit is different this year than other spirits. So how are you guys doing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Small okay. Okay with the small
Small
O.
okay. Our son's got the virus, so
Oh no.
the last few days.
Oh no.
He's okay. He's coughing a lot, but he's okay.
Where did he? How did he catch it? Was he with young people?
He thinks, well, he was bringing the kids home a school rota, which he shouldn't have been doing, I don't think. And it's been in the school the last 2 days, so I think that's how he's got it. Who knows?
We are definitely hearing of more and more people again.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
So everyone just please stay safe and stay well.
Yeah.
I have to say, with the kind of season festivities, it always does make me smile whenever I walk past. Like just yesterday, I walked to the duck pond, and it is lovely to see all the lights. Like even though it's not our holiday, I always get that. Or when you go into the shops and you hear the music, and it does have that season feeling. And we thought it would be quite interesting just to have a chance to chat a little bit about that tonight, because obviously it's not a Jewish holiday, but I know from speaking to Ashley at Feldmans from previous years, there's obviously a lot of Jewish people who have a turkey this time of year. We've had ours already at Thanksgiving, but we just thought maybe it would be interesting to hear different people's perspectives or experiences of how different families celebrate over this time.
Well, Jeff, and didn't you tell me that growing up, you guys would have a family meal together on Christmas Day?
So I don't know if some of you might know Dr. David Lipkin is married to my dad's first cousin.
Oh no, David. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're very close family of ours, and he doesn't get off days during the year. So the time when it made sense for all the extended family to get together at Christmas. And if you're going to get together at Christmas anyway, then why not have turkey and the roast potatoes and the sweet potatoes and all the other Brussels sprouts and any other trimmings, because that was the family get together. So even though kind of it's kind of like both feelings, like it's really not our festival, and there's a Chanan will speak a bit afterwards about why this is actually not a great time of year for Jewish people. But obviously, there's a lot of Jewish people that do celebrate this time of year.
You guys, I certainly.
Don't you think that having a turkey means it goes a long way when you've got a lot of people? That's the other point. Makes it easier.
Yeah. And it's interesting because in America, the Christmas dinner isn't turkey. So turkey's a very British thing. It's not, I don't know, what do people eat?
I mean, I don't think it's even British. I thought it was a goose. It wasn't always a goose in Britain that you would have. I mean, that was like a gift, no?
But I don't know, but a turkey is not indigenous, isn't a turkey from the New World?
Yeah.
But at Thanksgiving was when they have it, or they have it at Christmas as well.
Yeah, but I don't know how long turkey's been going on in this country as the dish on Christmas.
Do you want to explain, actually, turkey's really interesting from a kashrut point of view. Do you want to talk to us a bit about
Well, I mean, just before we get into from your perspectives of what the Christmas season has meant for you guys, either when you were you know, growing up yourselves or with your families, but the whole concept of eating turkey is quite controversial Jewishly. Nothing to do with Christmas, but simply to do with the fact that the Torah doesn't talk about turkeys. It doesn't. It's not there as one of the birds, the fowl that are considered to be kosher. We have no tradition on it, and therefore, when the only way that you eat birds or different fowl is only with they're having a tradition on it that it's kosher.
It's not like with animals, you've got the size, the split hooves and the cod, or the fish, we've got the fins and scales. With birds, it's just by tradition what's mentioned in the Torah, and turkey's not one of the birds mentioned.
And therefore, there was a whole question of whether it's just a larger chicken or whether it's a species in its own right, and therefore can you have it or not? And there are still some Jews today who won't eat turkey because it doesn't have a tradition. As you can imagine, that might not be the Feldman way of looking at things.
But surely it's because the turkey, when the Bible was written, Torah was written, the New World hadn't been discovered, so they didn't know a turkey existed.
Exactly.
But can't it be an honorary kosher bird?
Well, it is now.
That's what most people, you know, that's what we do. We have one of our favorite meals actually to have for Shabbat lunch is I'll put like a turkey leg in the crock pot with seasoning, and then we'll have it with the pancakes and the shredded cucumber and spring onions and hoisin sauce. Like that's one of our best Shabbat lunch. I think what people call it. It's like duck pancakes. It's like the cheap or cheat version of duck pancakes, but that's one of our favorite Shabbat lunch meals. So turkey is definitely on the menu in our family.
Yeah, looking forward to have everyone over for Shabbat lunch.
Well,
It's like a lifetime ago.
It's not over.
Yeah.
So back to you guys, over to you guys. What exactly have been your experiences with Christmas over the years? Either where you were, Stella, you look like you have something you want to say.
Me.
Yeah.
You want to hear about our Christmas Day lunch?
We usually have the family, as you say, because it's a day that you're all together, so you have the family. And if anything could go wrong last year, it went wrong. From taking, I was putting the gravy back into the oven to heat it up, had the turkey out, and I didn't put it back on the tray it was on, and it was on one of these foil things. So when I went to take the gravy out, of course, the foil bent and down my lovely oven, and I'm trying to mop that up off my floor, and everybody's arriving. And then my sister-in-law bought this chocolate dessert cake, which you warm up in the oven. And I said to Denise, it's okay to warm in the oven because it should be warm. She said, yeah, it's fine. I put the desserts in the oven and went to get the desserts out, and she'd forgotten she hadn't put it on an oven-proof plate, and the glass had gone all into the dessert underneath. Luckily, we had a very big fruit salad and some ice cream. And then, because Lawrence was at the end of his, so everybody, we had the Hanukkah. So then my son arrived, and it was Hanukkah last year at Christmas, and lit the Hanukkah. We all had a lovely time, and then just everybody went, and I thought, time to clear up, peaceful evening. And Lawrence was at the coming off the pills he'd been on for the pain he was in from his operation last year. And he had the most terrible reaction and was extremely ill that night. Won't go into it. Just finished off our day. So that was our last year. I'm very happy it's only the two of us tomorrow.
I was going to say a nice quiet day today is probably not the worst thing, right?
No. Just Friday night meal tomorrow is fine.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What about you? Any traditions in your family and experiences of Christmas Day?
Me?
Yes, you.
I suppose much like Stella, it's an opportunity for the family to get together, which is lovely because, you know, there's such busy people these days. To get all the children and grandchildren together is quite unique. And sort of Christmas Day has always given us that opportunity. This year will be very different because it's just the two of us. But I have to say the hard work that goes into it, not only from me, but from Helen. She does.
She in the room?
Well. No, she's not. Otherwise, I wouldn't be saying this, would I? Not only the preparation, but it's lovely when everybody's around your table, but it is hard work in dishing it all up. And then when everybody goes home and then the clearing up, and as you get that little bit older, it just gets that little bit harder every year.
Listening in the other room. I've been listening in the other room.
Have I got some apologies to do here? Oh gosh! Will you excuse me for 5 minutes while I go on my knees and apologise? Anyway, we do have a traditional sort of Christmas, as I say, because the family gets together. But I won't miss all the hard work tomorrow, but I will miss all the family.
Well, I mean, before we go into anyone else, I always find it humorous when I'm speaking to one of my non-Jewish Christian colleagues or friends or whatever it might be, and they say, "Oh my goodness, I'm slaving away preparing. I'm so worried. We're having 12 people around our table. It's once a year. I don't know how I'm going to cope." And sticking we live in different universes.
I remember when I was in university, there was a student who on a Friday would take my notes for me, and she was like, "Why is it that you're going home early?" And I explained, "I don't do any work till Saturday night." And she was like, "Well, what do you do?" And I described Friday night. So she said to me, "Do you have Christmas every Friday night?" And it's like, that is exactly what
What about Pesach? They have no concept at all.
None. No.
Alan, Elaine, what about you guys? I'm sorry. Well, Marion, what'd you say?
That's why the pub is so important. They don't open their homes and have people into their homes in the way that we love to have friends and family around us in our own home.
And it is one of the reasons why I think our community was particularly hit by COVID, because of how interconnected we all are and how we mix so much with one another. And that's just the nature of things. It's made us quite, the one thing which has been such a feature and has brought us together has made us vulnerable, which is very, very difficult.
But it's so important as part of our community. That is what our community is. It's all about connecting with each other.
It was interesting because Henry was looking at her telephone.
Marion, try again. We're not catching you.
Our telephone, which normally is about 4 or 5 hours on the phone, it's doubled this time because I've been using the phone so much to keep in touch with people who we know are on their own, particularly, that it was doubled.
And I think we're so blessed that we have community. Like, I'm just even thinking about one of our neighbours who's on her own, and I'm not sure that there is that sort of network of people who are calling and connecting, and even just that we have this sort of a Zoom thing that we can get together. We are very blessed that we have our communities to be able to do that. We really are.
Truth of the matter is, Marion's just fed up talking to me, so she gets on the phone.
You see, Stuart, that's the difference. He'll say it right in front of her. You see, he's not afraid.
They're much older than Helen and I. Steady. Sorry, Marion and Henry.
Okay, Ian, Leslie. How about you guys? Ian, sorry, Ian, would you work with your surgery be open on Christmas? Did you get off?
I usually worked actually Christmas Day. I volunteered for it. It was the easy way out. I suppose I worked every other Christmas for about 30 years. And it started off being an incredibly easy day. Nobody would ever bother you. You'd sit there waiting for the phone. By the time I finished, it was like every other day. And we talk about family and people getting together and caring. My abiding memory of the sort of evening on Christmas Day or Boxing Day was I'd get a phone call from somebody and they'd say, "Could you go and see my mother? She's not as well as she was last year," which was the last time he'd seen her.
Yeah.
This happened every year.
Was it the same person?
Can I ask a question?
No,
Are you all receiving this all right tonight? Because we're having terrible.
Yes. No, absolutely
Yeah.
fine.
Oh,
We're having interference.
A lot of interference and
Oh,
breakup.
sorry.
yeah, we can't see most people.
All right,
Fortunate.
We're okay.
We're
I'm sorry if it's not is our internet.
Yeah, no, you're okay.
Yeah, I think we're okay this evening. Sorry if not everyone's internet's so great. Maybe the internet people are also having a Christmas break tonight.
Oh, that would be.
The internet elves are busy delivering stuff. So
Oh yeah, I've got this thing on. This is sacrilegious. I'm tracking Santa. Does anyone else know what I'm talking about?
No, go on, Sandra. Sandra, explain it to those of us who don't know, please.
have you been on the drink tonight, Sandra?
I'm actually drinking. I've got some cider here. I don't normally drink.
There you go.
Steady.
It's just something that's left over from my dinner. That's my excuse. If you go onto Google, there's this thing called Santa Tracker.
Yeah.
He's going all around the world all day, delivering the presents down the chimney.
And I understand he's allowed to go from a tier 4 to a tier 3.
Is he really? Is he really?
Maybe he's the one carrying COVID round.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the problem.
No, I think because of the Brexit deal, now he could go from the UK to the EU as well. So it's all really worked out. Very timely for him.
Well, you'll be pleased to know that the Feldman family got me to call Santa from our Alexa this morning. And when you call Santa from Alexa, they'll tell you that Santa's very busy at the moment and he can't come to the phone right now.
Oh, right.
I used to be in retail. I had a shoe shop in Finchley. And this time of year, of course, it was always a busy time with people buying presents. But there was one woman came in just before Christmas Eve, and she bought her husband a new pair of steel toe cap working boots as a Christmas present. And I thought to myself, this poor bloke works 50 weeks a year, right, as a labourer or whatever. And the best present his wife could buy him was a new pair of work boots. I mean, I felt so sorry for him.
Perhaps he asked for them.
No, I don't think so.
So Elaine, Alan, what about you guys? Any Christmas memories or any experiences?
Either traditions or non-traditions.
We don't actually do Christmas Day because one of the kids doesn't think it's in the spirit of the day. So it's either Boxing Day or the Sunday. I've got all this food in the freezer. So we had Christmas dinner Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Would have used it all up. But no, it's just another day to me.
Yeah.
And obviously you're planning to get together with different people.
Yes, I had one lot coming last night and one lot coming Sunday. So no, not on this year. That's just us.
Yeah.
I really think whether people were going to avail themselves of the allowances given for Christmas, those 5 days. I mean, I can say what we were going to do. We were planning on, we had booked a hotel for the whole family for 2 nights in town over this period, and just a chance to get away to do something. And obviously that all went sour. So there definitely is a great disappointment in how everything's turned out. And I'm sure that's really compounded people's loneliness, being with what could have been and what really is. It's really quite sad.
I did hear I was watching television the other day, one fellow was interviewed up north somewhere, and they asked him what it meant to him not to be able to mix at Christmas, and he went, yes, I don't have to see the mother-in-law.
I saw that, yeah. I mean, I shall be on my own tomorrow. But I'm just shrugging my shoulders and accepting it. Worse things happen. It's not my holiday. And there are people all around me, and we're all in the same boat. We're all in our little cells at the moment. You know, I'm living in these flats. It's what we have to do to keep safe. And I'm not particularly sentimental about it.
Do you think, Sandra, was Pesach and Rosh Hashanah harder, do you think? Because obviously those are our Jewish holidays.
Yeah, I mean, I had Seder night on my own. I can't remember. Yes, it's definitely harder. Yeah. This I'm just shrugging my shoulders about.
Yeah. I do feel sorry for people who Christmas is their only holiday, and you know that's when they get together with family. I agree with
you. Know, our cleaning lady, who we're very, very close with, she is beyond herself that she's not going to be with her mother for Christmas.
Yeah.
She couldn't even.
She's been working in care homes the whole way through this. So she's really, you know, she's done so much for everyone else, and the one day that she just wanted to be with her mum, and she can't be now. It is heartbreaking, actually. And I know people were saying, you know, well, we didn't have Pesach and we didn't have Rosh Hashanah. It is true, but I do feel, I think especially because everyone was so set up that we were going to be allowed to be together, and then last minute it got changed. It's really tough. Like, I know, Elaine, you were organised enough, you've got all the food in the freezer, but I can imagine for people that, you know, this is their only time that they've been looking forward to this the whole year, and it has been such a tough year for everyone.
I mean, I think this time it's more scary than when we first went.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm far more paranoid now than I was then.
Yeah.
I feel the same. I mean, I was just looking forward to, because I'm on my own, I was just looking forward to somebody, as I do at the moment, looking after me for the day. And just being able to relax and sit and have a meal. I haven't even got an oven, and there's the saga of the oven that still goes on. I haven't got, you know, so you know, I can't even have a nice, you know, meat and 2 veg meal. I just have to sort of make do.
Sandra, Elaine has lots of food in her freezer, so I don't really see why that should be any issue.
I mean, at the moment, I'm just keeping myself safe and staying, you know, within my little flat, because I realise.
I think that's what we have to. It's. I agree. I think it feels scarier now.
It is scary.
Sarah, what about you? Do you have any memories or any experiences, either current or in the past, about Christmas Day or get-togethers and stuff like that?
Who's that?
Sarah.
Oh, right.
Growing up, it was like a family day, so grandparents would come round. I think we had turkey, but Richard always celebrated Christmas. Both his parents did. So his mum still does Christmas lunch, so we were supposed to be going there tomorrow. So now she's leaving us the turkey on our doorstep tomorrow. Should be nice. But I said we'll have it for Friday night dinner rather than Christmas lunch. And we did used to go down to Richard's dad when the kids were very little, and it was full on Christmas with Santa stacks and presents and everything. And then we thought, well, when the kids are getting a bit older, I can't really do that anymore. But it was fun to do.
So everyone has like really nice experience. Well, Miriam, what about you? What was in your stocking? You're on mute.
She's on mute. Yeah.
What was in my stocking on Christmas Day? My feet. We didn't. Christmas was, you know, it was a bank holiday. It was another day. We were probably. I mean, it wasn't a big day when family got together. In my mum's family, you know, we did that on Hanukkah. There was always one night, so it was either Motzei Shabbat or the Sunday when we, you know, there would be a big get together. And my mother's family grew up playing a game that nobody else has ever heard of called Bell and Hammer. So that was Hanukkah. My mum had trained as a cook and had worked in hospital kitchens and know all the had probably done all the Christmas cooking, etc. So we had, as some of you know, she made mincemeat and we had mince pies and sometimes Christmas pudding, and we had that on Hanukkah.
I love when you see that the traditions get all kind of meshed up together, and you know that the the example that I always think of is the Hanukkah presents. We never were allowed Hanukkah presents because that's, you know, that's what the non-Jews do for Christmas. It's not Hanukkah at all. And, you know, I think I shared this when Elchanan joined the family, we started doing Hanukkah presents and I love it now. But when growing up, it was like, no, on Hanukkah, you don't do presents. So I think I love the fact, Miriam, that your traditions include, you know, the mince pies and Christmas pudding on Hanukkah, you know.
Richard, you look like you have something to you look like you have something to share about your Christmas. Sorry, Miriam, what was that?
We also had Hanukkah. What was we grew up as they were called Hanukkah biscuits. They were what my grandmother made. They're a sort of spice biscuit. My German's no good, but known as Brunnerkuchen. And I was at school once, and one of my colleagues brought in the identical biscuits cut out with a Christmas tree cutter. And my grandmother's biscuits were just what was seasonal fare in North Germany at that time of year.
Many of our traditions are like that.
Yeah. Anyway,
I've seen gingerbread houses, Hanukkah gingerbread houses. They have in America, obviously in America.
Yeah.
They have everything in America, but that's hilarious.
I know, when we go, and we always go to Grand Central Station, because when we're there, it's Hanukkah's everywhere there. And the market there, at the end, there's a bakery, and it had a challah shaped like a Hanukkah. Huge, huge challah. I mean, everything was for Hanukkah there, the whole bakery. It was fabulous.
I think Americans invented the commercialized Christmas, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and everything else commercialized.
And Halloween and Thanksgiving and every other.
And Coca-Cola.
I must tell you, Elkanan, I must tell you this. Last week it snowed in New York, as you probably know. Huge snowstorm. So I was a bit concerned for our friends. So I went on Google, and there are live cameras. You can see different places in New York. So I woke up in the morning. It was 9:15 here in the morning. I went to Times Square, which was 3:45 in the morning, and nobody there. But I could see two figures dancing in Times Square, right? And I'm looking, and I could see a vehicle behind them with a menorah on it. And there are two chassids, bless them, dancing at 3:45 in the morning in Times Square. They're dancing around them. It was the funniest thing.
You see, that's where you're wrong. That's why you're not a New Yorker. A real New Yorker wouldn't bat an eyelash. You would just keep on walking. A real New Yorker, you don't get fazed by anything. I once saw a grown man rollerblading down Times Square in a nappy, and no one even paid any attention. It was completely normal. You just, you train yourself. Nothing phases you when you're in New York. That's just the way it is.
Someone actually sent me a video of someone putting on tefillin on a Santa Claus. Did anyone see that? No. That was great. I think that was in Israel actually, but a Santa Claus having tefillin to put on them. So that did make me laugh.
Listen, it's a living. What can I tell you? Richard, what about you? Just to conclude, what was your experiences?
Well, as I got older, the nature of the festive season, as it were, changed. So when I was younger, we would certainly get together with my mum's parents, my dad's parents less so. But we were a very, very small family. So we getting together with the family involved just my grandparents. Growing at that age, I had no cousins. So, but as I got older, as I moved from primary school to secondary school, I became unimpressed with the whole Christmas experience. You see, that's what a husband in education does for you. And so, for various other reasons, my mum's mother became quite ill over a sustained period of time. So all of those kind of things just fell by the wayside. So really throughout, for most of my life, Christmas Day was just a day to sit and watch television, really. I agree with Jacqueline. When we were younger, we got the odd present for Hanukkah, but it was mainly Hanukkah gelt. And my mum's parents in particular never gave presents, physical presents. They only gave money. My dad's parents would give presents, but yeah, it was mainly money that we got.
As we're coming to the end of our whilst the chicken soup is cooking session, my experiences of Christmas were really the absence of it. In fact, it was so absent it actually had a name, and tonight is known in very religious circles as Nittelnacht.
Oh.
Nittelnacht actually has a name, and it's Yiddish for basically the night of which you didn't do things. The tradition was that the yeshivas, the shuls, in fact, it's quite apropos that we closed down our shul on Nittelnacht, because the tradition always was to close shuls on the eve of Christmas, because to avoid pogroms and other massacres which would take place over Christmas, and therefore it wasn't safe to be in the shul or safe to be in a place of learning, and therefore the rabbis instituted that it was prohibited. Listen to this: it was actually prohibited to learn Torah on Christmas Eve, just to avoid people coming together and to go to a shir or whatever it might be, because of the danger which might come from Jews gathering in any type of situation, and therefore that carried with it the origins and the history of Christmas, which was not a very pleasant time for Jewish people throughout our history, and therefore I suppose, and that and the combination that in America Christmas isn't the be all and end all anyway, in many ways. So the only traditions of Christmas were Chinese food and catching a film or a video. I mean, that was the
well in like Poland of old, in the yeshivas, they play chess on that night. That was the night where you didn't sit and learn Torah. Instead, you would, because you weren't allowed to learn Torah, so you'd play chess.
It'd be the one night that you would play chess, and that was the game. They would take out the chessboard on Christmas Eve and have a few matches, have a few games. Having said all of that, my family, my father would always make a point of appreciating the Christmas decorations that were around, appreciating the good cheer that was in that particular season. And I've always enjoyed Christmas. I don't have a bad taste in my mouth for it, but I certainly wish everyone a Merry Christmas and hope that they, sorry, not everyone, my non-Jewish neighbors, just be very, very, very clear. But for me, it is, to put it bluntly, it is the one holiday that has the most divergence from Judaism that you could possibly have, and that really sums up in terms of the narrative of Christmas. And in fact, that's okay. As much as we want all faiths to come together and things like that, there are some irreconcilable differences between faiths, and that's kind of what makes them special. And therefore, I'm very happy for Christians to celebrate and have a very, very meaningful Christmas. I'm less keen on Jews doing it, but I suppose to each their own, and it takes all different kinds to make a Jew. Tomorrow, as it happens, is a particularly interesting Christmas because it's actually a minor Jewish fast day. It's the 10th of Tevet, which is tomorrow.
I think it's the only fast day that can be on a Friday. So it's very rare to fast when you're going into Shabbat. So we're going to break our fast on Kiddush, which isn't the best thing to break a fast on. Yeah. But hopefully the chicken soup and the challah will help.
Yeah. And it was the last time that actually fell this way was 10 years ago. So it's quite unusual, even for a fast day, for it to fall like that. But it has, and therefore, I, like Sarah, will be pushing off my turkey towards for Friday night dinner.
There's no turkey. We did that for Thanksgiving. I'm not doing that in a hurry again.
But
I think what Elkanah was saying, it is a bit ironic that so many Jewish people do celebrate Christmas when it was a time that was really very, very difficult for Jewish people.
Yeah.
If anyone's interested, actually, there's a fabulous lecture.
Ilana Epstein gave it.
She spoke on stage about it. And there's if you want as well, there's one on Rabbi Kellerman has one as well. Is it the same thing? Yeah. So if you want to catch up, go on, Stuart.
I was just going to say, Ilana gave us this very interesting talk how awful Christmas was for Jewish people, going back over history. So fascinating to hear Rebbitzin give us that history of Christmas. And if anybody wants to hear it, it wasn't last Tuesday just gone. It was a Tuesday before, and it's been recorded on the Shaw YouTube. Very worthwhile listening to if you weren't at Sage and heard it.
A bit uncomfortable listening, but it is a very
yeah.
So we're not going to end off by wishing everyone a Merry Christmas, but we certainly will wish everyone
a very special Shabbat Shalom.
That's very special Shabbat, a very festive Shabbat Shalom to one and all.
Stay safe, stay warm, stay well, and we're here if anyone needs anything. So please stay in touch.
So if you need any specific food, Elaine has in her freezer. Have a good night, everyone. All the best. Take care. Bye.
And as they say in America, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
That's from Home Alone. They always have on this time of year.
Absolutely.
Can we ask, how was the plum brandy?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Miriam. We started it on Hanukkah. It's delicious, but anyone who wants to pop by, I don't know how we can leave it for 3 days outside our house in little bottles maybe, but you're more than welcome. I don't think I'll make my way through all of it in time. So anyone who wants.
Have a good try.
You've still got the plums in it. What do you do with the plums that were in the brandy?
We threw them away.
You would probably make jam, wouldn't you, Miriam?
No. In the autumn, there must have been an exchange of correspondence in the newspaper about sloe gin and what do you do with the sloes left, once you take them out of the sloe gin. And there was a very short and very rapid response from somebody who said, what you do with the sloes when you take them out of your gin is you melt them into chocolate.
Ooh, next time.
And said, and make sure you eat it before the alcohol is evaporated.
Then I would really be sicker. Maybe I'll do that at Purim time, Miriam.
Miriam, I don't know why you're asking Jacqueline about her brandy when you really should be asking me about my beer that I've made. I'm a bit disappointed.
I thought, as the master, I thought it was master of the house responsibility to make the alcohol.
It
is. He's on his second batch is now brewing, so it will be ready around Purim.
Yep, it's being called Shema Yisrael for those who are following along. Shema Yisrael.
Very good.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Shabbat Shalom.
Lovely to see you all.
Bye. Happy holidays.
Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom.